It's time for Leather Podcast.
What did you end up in
the Shadow Realm?
30s?
No, right. So you had obviously gave me a double strength edible.
Did you take that too?
Aye.
Did you take it in the GM?
No, I had taken two. I had taken one.
Ones?
I'd taken one in there, and then by the time I went out, I took another one.
Did you touch it too?
No, I took the two last night.
Did you?
Aye, so Chris had gave me...
that was like a guinea pig one.
I know, mate. Holy fuck. Aye, I took it about 5 o'clock and I was riding high. I actually went for a sleep. So in between the whole setup of taking it, I had a nap. I woke up and I was still fried. And then I went... I'm right back in. It was fucking amazing. I'm trying to think what I was watching.
I like how you structure your evening and ruined it. So take my edible, then get a wee snooze.
I usually take it at night.
We'll see. What I like to hit it mid, like 5 o'clock was definitely too early.
Aye, because that'll last.
I know. So it's roughly about 8 hours, man. But I was literally in for a full night. So I hadn't really messed about with any edibles because I'd been on holiday. I'd obviously done fight camp, so I was like, right, I want an actual good night in. Edible, feel good, eat some food. So last night was my night. So I'd popped it, made myself some food, pretty much the same as what you done. Underestimated the time when this fucking thing hit, and when it hit, I was like, I can't actually finish.
Sometimes it's like an hour.
Aye.
And the last night it was like half an hour, I think.
I think I was about 20 minutes last night. And then I had to cut making food. Like, right, that's done. That's done. I'll have a bowl of Weetabix. Because I was starving. And then I went and sat down and the daughter was like, Dad, do you want to watch Simpsons? And I'm like, yes. And it was an amazing episode of The Simpsons.
They're all, mate. Tell me a bad one.
But it's the new seasons, and I've not really watched as much of them as I should have because, like, they annoy me. They obviously changed the voices of all the ethnic characters. Do you know this?
I didn't know this, no.
So all the ethnic characters have changed their voice. So if there's so if it's a black person, it's a black person playing a character. If it's
what do you talk about, Willis?
It's Apu's now. I'm going to assume he's played by an Indian person. Yeah. But it's all proper voice actors for their ethnicity.
Why?
It was a guy out of Heat, wasn't it? And Ray Donovan. It was.
It was. Aye. He was also in Friends.
They're cartoons.
What's his name? Hank has
the one that wants to go to Minsk.
That's it. So they done all this.
Backlash, like, is this a thing?
Really? So Dr. Hibbert is a totally different voice for It's not that anymore.
Does he sound like that though?
No, he doesn't even.
Does he do that?
Him, Carol, definitely under the same person.
Is Apu still in it?
No, they took Apu out it.
Why?
Not
because of that.
Because you get the backlash. Because
Thank
it's a white guy.
Again, you don't need to clip that.
No, it's a white guy putting on an accent, and that's obviously offensive.
Let's hear Apu.
We boys in the shop at Mabbit, they were in front of me the other day, got their stuff, and then we're just like, "Thank you, come again," at the boy. And I was like,
can't be doing that, boys. Do you want to know? So as you're saying about that, I was
love to see that for the younger generation.
My nephew's like, he's 16, and I was out with him the other day, and he still refers to a Chinese as a
like
he's
the
like
food.
The food. I was a wee get. And I was like, can I say that? And he was like,
I say that one.
How no? And I was like,
said that when we were younger.
I we were younger. But I'm like, no, that's an offensive word now. And he's like, how is it? And I was like, it just is, mate. But that's the thing. It's like, as you said, we used to say that, and what was you used to call the local shops would be the.
There's loads of words that aren't in my vocabulary.
It's massively offensive now, but as we were growing up, it wasn't. It was just something, and it wasn't. You didn't call it that name from a racist point of view.
Just knew it as that.
The Simpsons have taken.
Is as bad the one as the rest of them because
I think it's how it's used.
Yeah,
I think it's like if we had an Asian shop down at the bottom of my hill, and it was like the slurs would be bastard or whatever it is. So I think that's where it comes from, the whole word of being
But do you know what's a word that we'll all have heard loads of when we were younger that my kids have probably never ever heard in their life? Fenian. Probably never heard it. Because I've never.
Surely people still. Nah. Surely they still shout.
Oh, I get that.
I was going to say, mate.
But see, if I said it,
Fenian and Terrier,
would, just like it's like Terrier would not even.
You must know where this comes from.
What do you mean?
The like what a Fenian is.
Aye, but I just didn't say
bleep a lot of
it.
this
I never say it. I never ever say it. It's not a word I use.
I know, but like the actual origins of it, like coming from like a warrior.
Is that what it is?
Aye, it's
like a Gaelic word, aye.
Aye, it's a name for a warrior. It was something to do with. A fiend's a warrior. Go and check that up for us, young Jamie.
So we went right off track here, but you got to Simpsons.
Edible,
So they changed all these voices, and I know that it annoyed me or anything, but it just takes away from my childhood in the 90s watching The Simpsons. Like it's
authenticity.
Totally
So were you high and you just weren't enjoying it? As
no,
much?
I was loving it.
Oh, right,
it was
okay.
absolutely amazing. The actual storyline from The Simpsons was fantastic.
I feel when I was on them last night, I started going on my phone. I was talking to people. And it unlocks part of your brain that you never knew existed, and then you get lost, and you're like, what was I doing there? You drift away. It's insane. And you start becoming a wee bit more funny. I'm like, am I writing this right? That looks funny. That looks.
Do you get melted and go on the Discord? You ever do that?
No, but I think
we should start doing that.
So
I only went on it the first day, mate. I need to check back.
I've had a wee look on it.
So did I tell you about the time where my nutritionist and my sports and conditioning guy phoned? I didn't realise it. They were phoning.
No, but yeah, you said in London, but I don't think you've told people though.
So I was, this was getting right close to the fight. I forgot I had a call, right, and I had a really bad day. And my body was absolutely busted, so I was like, right, I'll take an Edinburgh and I'll just chill. This was like.
Not a day where you actually just love taking them.
Aye. It's nothing to do with this. When I started this podcast, I was like, I've only taken edibles once, and then now it's like 26 episodes, and I'm like, right, so
40 days now.
I'm trying to go for them. I'm in. So I'd popped an edible, and I'd forgot like, these guys were calling me, so my phone's fucking. I was like, oh no! But it was like phoning for all like the. Right, once we get the sauna, I need the sauna to be here. We need to then go for here. So it was all the plans, it was all the food, it was everything. And he's talking to me, and he's asking like where the closest gym is. And I'm like, I just felt myself as you were saying, like.
See, when you brought it up to Lee, he was like, now that you mentioned it, like, I can actually see like you were visibly not there.
I was away, man. I was fucking, and it wasn't like I just taking it, and I had like a couple of like, I've got 20 minutes, I can make this work. Let's rally, boys. Let's go. It wasn't. It was like
melted.
No, I'm melted, and I was away.
You drift away, then you're like, right back to the real world. Like, oh, what
like, what are we talking about? And he's like, so the gym, Paul, and I was like, there's a gym in the hotel, and and I'd obviously mentioned to Adam like a couple of days after it when he came up to do some conditioning, and he went, Paul, I just thought you were knackered, and I was like, no, mate, I was fucking fried.
I think Adam's cool.
That's
Adam's away to Amsterdam now, so I'm assuming he's cool.
That's the hard bit though. If you're dieting and you're taking edibles, because once you hit that past that wee stage, you need to eat, man.
Oh,
like
you just munch everything.
You're eating stuff you've maybe ate your full life, and it tastes just amazing.
Aye.
Like I had a bag of popcorn. I just only take a wee bit of it, but the other night, I mean, I was licking the bag, and I was looking around to her, and I'm like, that's a fucking good bag, man. I could use this bag. She's like, hey, it was alright. She still got
She doesn't realise, you know.
Does your missus take edibles?
No, man.
Just you? Does she?
I didn't tell her.
And she's.
She knows I take them from time to time, but I take them every night. Just don't want to know.
You just don't say this is the night I'm on them.
She falls asleep at night, and I'll just fuck on like some stand-up comedy or something.
It's funny. I mind when we were younger, and sorry to cut in there, but you'd show her a picture of when I was out, a night out with my pals, and it's maybe like me and one of my friends, and she'll just go, "Look at state of you there," like just fully aware. Look at state of you. Sorry, mate.
That's all good.
Aye, so I had, when I was in Mexico, before I left the airport, I jumped into one of the wee convenience stores and bought lots of sweets. Like, I was like, right, I'll get myself some this, I'll get myself some of that. Just get like a whole array of like chewy sweets, chocolate, crisps, just for like such an event. So I put them in the back of the cupboard. The back of the cupboard for, when you're like, oh my God, I'm the stash. So last night it was Ritz crackers with little bits of cheese inside it. Oh, next level shit, man. Like, they were absolutely amazing, right? But the schools go back on Wednesday, and it's Monday today as we record this podcast. So I had to bring the daughter with me because the school's on the way yet. And she's like, Dad, can I take these? And it was from my stash. And it's like these wee Herschel cookie bites. They're like this size, right?
I've seen them.
You got them for the airport, so you can't really get them.
Aye. And she's like, Dad, can I have these? Can you come and watch the podcast? She's not actually watching, she's in another room. In case she's like, listening to me. So she took them, and I was like, inside, I was like, you little fucker. You know I need them.
I feel like poor Jamie had something to say there. Like,
Jamie,
he looked something up.
How good were they?
They were class. I tried one. She gave me one. But I was going to say you were right about Fenians being warriors. That's where
It's like a name of a warrior. So
it's the legendary band of Irish warriors led by the fictional Finn McCool.
There you go. See?
Up the Finn McCool, man.
Not only do you get some edible chat in this podcast and some MMA chat, you also get historical
correctness.
Correct.
Or sectarianism chance.
we googled one last week that we didn't get back to after you called someone. You made quite an accusation.
What did I say?
Oh, aye.
And we never got back to it.
By the way, I
was-
looked that up and you were completely correct.
Steve Tyler.
Were you?
Stephen Tyler, man. Is that what you were
Is that
talking
his
about?
name? Aye.
It was completely correct when I looked
Was it
up.
correct? Aye.
Although you said she was 15, turns out she was 14.
Aye,
Oh,
so
well,
aye.
that's-
But
she
it
was
was true,
younger.
innit? It's a weird. It's like
Steve Tyler, you fucking beast. Is
So-
that right? Is that what you're saying?
Aye, exactly.
And then
So-
he passed her to the homies.
Aye.
Good.
And he
guy.
did pass it to the homies, didn't he?
He did.
She ended up.
Fucking
She
hell.
ended up. Who did she marry? She
Cancel
married
my
somebody
Aerosmith
famous as well. I
ticket.
know she obviously married Stephen Tyler,
I'll
but
look
I'm
up
sure
for you
she
again.
married somebody else famous. But everybody's taking a wee rattle at her.
What a shame.
I could stay awake just to see you
No, but
bleeding.
that was in the 90s, so she was far too old.
So she didn't bleed.
Aye.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She was too old at that point.
It's too old.
know what she could have been doing with for her knees if she was on her knees all the time. Anaconda. So my bird's dad wears it on the golf course, by the way.
Aye.
So it's not just for martial arts. He says something about it's good for
The back. So when you swing, you're obviously putting a lot of pressure into your knees.
this is a golf guy.
So your knee sits like this, and what you're doing is it moves this way very well. It doesn't move this way very well. And what this is doing is it's just stabilising the ability to stop rotation. So that's what it's doing. The straps hold it nice and tight. So I absolutely.
So I was like,
perfectly.
so he told me the day we went to TGI's with Wayne, and I was like, well, I'll bring that up because the guys in the podcast, we talk about it for our side, MMA, jiu-jitsu, so it's good. You can even use it in a golf course. Obviously, Paul plays golf. So
Why
it's
don't
all
you
for-
play
all
golf?
He did.
I played it twice with him in my life. Abu Dhabi and Charleroi. No, is that what you call it? Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Abu Dhabi's a big golf place now.
I would like to actually. I would like to try the different courses. There's one at your bit, right at your bit. Is that the one you play at? The back roads to
Western
my bit?
Moffat. It's a nice course.
That's nice, aye.
I'm Airdrie.
But I'm not that good.
Yeah.
To be fair, like
If you've only played it
1 out of
twice,
10
chances
is
are
up.
you're not.
I know.
Well, if the guys want to do a bit of Discord, a bit of Patreon, we'll hire the golf buggy, we'll go to my golf course, we'll pop some edibles and we'll play around the golf.
I mean, aye. I'll just come and all.
That's what I mean, and it'll be like the 3 years, we'll say, listen, we're going to do some filming, we'll make it up to the top of the hill, and then that'll be us.
We'll call it a day.
We could even bring the mysterious
Doug the Thug.
What does Doug the Thug look like? Does they've never
Nobody knows like
think about this, or what does Jamie look like?
Do you know people came up to me and asked me on Saturday, is that Doug the Thug?
He was hid away.
Is
Do you
that
not notice
him?
he was kind of hid away at
Aye,
this
aye,
side of
'cause
this?
he's-
I like it though. The mystique
Mm-hmm.
of the thug, yeah. It's good. He's just.
He still messes me. You've been speaking with that
He
podcast.
remembers me, Raymond the Bastard.
His name in the Discord is Doug the Thug. And people are like, that's him there? That's incredible. So,
painting him as this mad villain.
I know. So somebody put in the chat. Somebody put in our Discord chat about Doug the Thug should be in here. So I'd sent him the link, and he was like, "Yeah, beauty." He was like, "I love this chat." So he just came in and started battling about with the boys. I was like, "Good on you."
you see the Conspiracies one?
Oh mate,
Straight to Nazis.
I'm out. I went in. I went out. I went in, and then I'm out. And I don't think I'm going to go back in.
It's dark. Eh?
Aye.
They're into some. I thought I was into some dark conspiracies. These guys like some.
Who?
I don't know who they are because
What's the Nazis one?
they all fucked off to Antarctica. Was one of them. There's a tunnel in Antarctica.
I know I used to watch a programme, and it was an MMA fighter who did the looking for them. It was, who's the guy that held or pointed the gun at USADA? Tim
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Oh, he did he went to
Finding Hitler?
South America, eh?
Aye,
and he went
was
to
looking
the
for him.
German town,
Argentina.
the German-speaking towns in South
He was
America.
pointing the gun because he was just to the girls and no one tested.
I know.
Take 2 steps back.
But he was into it, eh?
He was
into
Nazi hunting.
Seen Family Guy where they're like, it's came at the frog, it's like doing in Mississippi. It's
Oh,
like,
mate.
what ways?
Back the way you came.
He's like, back the way you came. So
A boy at my work, Conor O'Neill, says that every weekend. Boys don't know the night. Back the way you came. It's not racist. No, he's not racist. He just doesn't like BAMs.
So there's a wee guy outside with a trolley selling white t-shirts. I don't know if you go.
Who was this?
The
white t-shirt.
I just went with the
guy with
plane.
the wire,
I
man.
know. I actually had a
Selling
hoodie
them.
on, but it was too hot in the car. It was fucking cooking the day. So are we going to...
Speaking of hot, man. How
Are we
hot-
going to get to this?
How hot was
HOLYTOWN HAVOC
the
hotbox.
General Motors Club?
I thought we were just going to go straight in with...
It's so fucking hot.
It was roasting.
But
What a show.
How good a show.
Good night,
Mate,
yeah.
I had a great night,
That's a good night.
honestly. Like, I've been to a lot of regional MMA shows. I've never got to commentate or anything like that, but
Aye.
you definitely got your money. The fights were good,
How
mate.
was that? Commentating wise, that's a bit different for
It was
you
good.
as well,
I
obviously.
think there was a point because Doug the Thug was laying maybe beers, wasn't he?
Aye.
Aye, there was a
That was
point.
part of my plan.
Good review for these up there. Did
Aye,
you see it
there
on
was
it?
a point where it was like professional.
Fuck this guy in his gym, mate.
Aye, I was getting torn in about people, right?
There was a couple-
and then all of a sudden the beer started to get to a point where I became very professional again, and it was like good. You know what he's doing? He's doing this very well.
I loved
And
the boy.
It was good. We were well together.
The boy he was covered in tattoos. Is it Lewis? Is his name?
Louis.
And Louis Cornerman actually has a mop bucket with him.
That's right. This was at the point where it was still paying a piss, right?
I was just trying to sit there and be like, fuck.
I brought it up again. I was like, his cornerman is sitting there with a green mop bucket. Like, I
And
literally, he wasn't even giving it.
He was just videoing him. His cornerman's giving him no instructions. He's just videoing him.
That was the. Then after that fight, after we come back and done our fight, which I was like 6 beers deep in.
Aye. I just had one.
So I
Hard
was
work after.
See, like,
You looked alright.
I was fucking pissed.
You looked alright, man.
6 beers is enough to put me out.
I've seen you get dragged into clubs and pubs in Ireland in the worst state of your life, so you looked alright.
Aye. So 6 beers. Me and you had a good grapple.
Yeah.
And
It was
it
nice.
was competitive. None of the twos,
It
wasn't it?
felt longer.
Aye, the
than
3
3
minutes.
minutes.
They
I know.
said it was 3 minutes. I was
see,
like,
right on the
nice.
3 minute mark.
don't
I was
think
like,
it
I wonder
3
if
minutes. It was longer.
my plan was just to wrestle you against the cage.
I tried to throw you. Did you see it? I tried to like
He's got
barely
a bit of
throw.
strength.
Like,
on him.
Aye.
oh shit, it's not up to it.
I've not been doing much cardio, as you noticed.
You go for the flying triangle? Was
He
that?
did.
an
I
attempt?
did.
Changed
Flying
it to an
triangle.
armbar.
And then changed it to-
I was expecting that though. I was like, he's
And
going
the
to
big
try
man
and
picks
do.
me up and tries to slam me.
No,
It's
it's
like,
right for
cheers,
you.
mate. You know, I've not got any fights coming up or anything. You know, I'm not at the peak of my career, and you're trying to fucking spine buster me.
My neck's actually sore today. I was like, oh fucking hell.
So since you won, you need to give him a forfeit. You need to do something.
Aye.
Get the knee pads
Why
on.
you your fucking
Get the knee pads on,
why
son.
your belt?
Get the knee pads on.
You see the wee videos where people are sleeping in the motor and they'll maybe touch your lip and then the other guy like zips up and he's like that, or he'll put water on him and he'll be like, "Would you just stay there? You just stick a dick in my mouth or something."
It is funny when you put your dick in someone's mouth and they're sleeping away. As long as it's a man, obviously.
As long as it's a man, not a
As long as it's a
woman.
man.
Aye.
Definitely can't be putting your dick in a sleeping woman's mouth. But a man is totally fine.
It's still sexual harassment.
Aye, but if they're your pal, it's cool.
Still sexual harassment.
Jamie?
No comment, but
He's done it. But aye,
Did you have a favourite fight of the night for
I
you?
did.
Gary McMillan has
Gary
to win.
McMillan, by miles. I was actually, it was hard commentating on his fight. I said it to you in the voice clip because you're watching him, because you know him. See, trying to watch two fighters is hard.
But somebody that you like and want to win. Aye.
Aye, so everything Gary does, you see is dead positive. And his opponent, you're like, oh, he's just going for takedowns.
See, I think I was looking at it for quite a neutral point of
Aye,
view.
I think you did well to keep it neutral, but I was like,
But that's what
no,
I was
I
saying.
think
Gary
Gary's-
was looking to land one big shot, but he was taking like 3 or 4 to get in.
He was getting he was trying to get into a brawl at one point.
know.
wasn't he? Swinging. It looks good for the fans. They like
Aye,
it.
but
But
I have to say this: matchmaking was on point. There was no gimmies apart from one fight.
Aye,
Well,
of course.
We've all been part of them ourselves.
Aye,
it's just
aye.
part of it. I take it that was like a late replacement or something like that. That's just how it goes.
Danny Misson put out for Igor, and that would have been a better because two of them got exact same records, 9-9 or whatever. This is a late replacement. Come up for England. You knew what it was.
And we've all had to take them. We've all been on that
But the guy's
same day
like,
replacement.
I'm going to go for him. I'm going to go for him, and he ran right across.
just got booted in the
right
face,
in.
aye.
Get
Got his-
one kick.
Got his teeth knocked out, man.
Did it take his
Aye.
teeth out? Aye. Aye.
So, but he got paid very well,
Well,
which I was raging about.
For highlight reel knockout for HOLYTOWN HAVOC, you were using that in your promo. So
No, I won't, man, because I don't like the opponent. not me.
I actually saw you felt uncomfortable with it
Aye,
when he
like,
walked out.
physically, you could see the guy wasn't he? But aye,
Hey, it's a fucking fight game.
It just happens. Like I say, we've all had a same day replacement. We've all taken part in them. But out with that fight, basically every fight, it was swinging backwards and forwards during the rounds. No, just like, I think, how many fights did we go like, I fucking don't know who took that round.
I know. I think there was one fight where I thought it went the other way. I think both of you thought it went the other way.
The Forza fight.
Aye, the Forza fight was tremendous, man. What was his
I
name?
forgot his name.
James. I
was-
spell it different
aye.
with a Z.
With a Z, wasn't it?
aye. James Swan and Jack Thorne.
Aye.
I was coming and going, so I couldn't really see who won. But every time I came in, Jamie was on top and stuff like that.
It was
it
very,
more
very-
of a grappling fight?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Aye,
I can't
it was
judge
back
on
and
it.
forward. Both guys were landing.
So Jack's
big.
actually taekwondo and karate since he's been 5. All he does in the gym to me is kick, and he didn't get to showcase any kicks. And he was a bit gutted about that because
That's
it turned
MMA,
into
innit? That's MMA.
a grappling match.
Aye.
But
But
I
I
don't
think-
know. I couldn't score it myself.
When that, is it Jamie?
Aye, James.
He just came out like right for the start, boom, banging. And I think he sort of clinched and kneed him. And I think that's what knocked off the momentum of other guy. Jack. And so he's maybe just went, fuck, well, I know I can get him down. Because he could. He kind of took him down it well and could keep position on him.
If you watch Jack's interview after it, though, it was actually hilarious, and he's very honest about the fight and how it went. He says it was fucked. He had nothing left.
aye.
The guy,
Well, we seen
the guy
that.
was strong. He was hitting him. It was like basically saying the other guy was brilliant as well, and probably deserved to win as well. So it was quite an honest interview for his first ever fight.
I think
as well,
I did
so.
say that as well. Yeah, I said I think it's went this way, but a draw would be absolute.
I'd have been fine with a draw.
I enjoyed
Very
the
good
one
fight,
I
but-
did watch was the Cal McKinney fight against the guy for Grip House, James Docherty. They were just in the clinch, trading knees up and down,
that
and
was
it just looked
something
grueling.
fight.
It looked grueling. So that was a tough one to,
The knees were
to
brutal.
call. That was a tough one to call.
Do you know what? Sorry,
The guy
going
for
back,
Grip House got the nod.
going back to that other fight there, at the end of the second round, going into the third, I actually thought he wasn't going to come
coming
out.
He wasn't going to
And
stand up.
even I went, come on, buddy, you're going to, like,
I think Michael or something like that basically says get fucking.
aye. Well, that's what I thought.
It's inexcusable, isn't it?
It's like-
no coming out to fight.
I know you feel this way now, but honestly, you'll never fucking forgive yourself if you didn't do this.
See, because we do 5s, obviously professional, but it's weird to see people gas with 3 minutes in
I
it.
know.
But they've never done it before,
I know,
mate.
he's only done 1 round or 2 rounds. Like, how can he be tired? But when you're in that heat of the battle, the heat of the actual room as well, your first fight.
That's what me and Ross were saying. It was like one of these things about being an amateur fight, and I think I used the line quite a lot. It's like knowing when to put your foot in the gas and when to pull it back, because quite a lot of the guys were like,
Gas.
wow, and it was like 3 minutes, man. Aye.
The first fight, it was just 100 mile an hour.
So is that Sanchez Jr.?
Yeah.
Local.
Aye.
Man, I like that fight, mate.
He had,
I
all,
liked
he had all his family over for the Philippines.
It was
with the
nice.
flags.
Well, I kind of assumed that they were this family because I was like,
But the flags, Philippines
so
flags.
I
was
like
that
that.
was cool.
Even
nice
on-
kid, nice
Aye.
kid.
Aye, fair enough. So he's fighting a guy for Devon, Bristol.
seen that. You know, he did come up
was,
to me.
He was a
You know-
parkour guy.
You know,
I was told you about this
He come
parkour.
up to me and done this to me. He went, Hail Hydra. Don't know why he done it. Come up to me, whistled right in my ear and went, Hail Hydra.
Who the
Local? He fucking.
Followed me on Instagram yesterday. He's a nice wee guy.
I
I
just
just thought
walked
you
in.
were fucking Captain America undercover or something.
Hail Hydra. And I was like,
Did they really? You're fucking high, mate. You're full of shit. Hell Hydra. So he fought the guy that does parkour and that down in Bristol. That was his first fight, and it was just right after the bat, 100 mile an hour, head kicks. Just your typical first amateur fight, balls to the wall.
Just
when
go
you get
away.
to professional, everything's slow down. Same
you
with
have to-
jiu-jitsu, innit?
aye, you have to slow.
White belts go balls to the wall, black belts are more.
it's all about controlling it.
Not that I'm a black belt or not.
Listen, every single fight, as Ross and I have said, is well matched. I don't think there was MD were like, oh, this is a steamroll.
Aye. So I felt it was actually.
So props to you, big man.
The only one that I knew was going to be a steamroll was a steamroll.
That's how it goes.
Aye.
But Gary getting the full 5 rounds against him, I felt was harsh. One of the judges.
Aye, that was bullshit. I honestly had it.
Do you have it 2-3?
Aye.
Did you
Aye.
have Gary up?
No, I had it 2 each going into the last round, and I had Gary losing the last round. So I don't know what the 50-45 was a bit
Strong, yeah.
a bit wide.
I felt like in the third round, you could see that Gary, the fight was maybe starting to pull
Did you see
away from him.
where Yusuf was holding on and Gary just picked him up and this was like the big fallback
I
slam?
think like I like Gary McMillan as a fighter. He always comes to fight. He's got but him as a fighter, he has not improved. Like physically, he's much better.
Looks in great shape.
Aye, and he's doing things right, but he's still resorting back to, when I say he's not improved, that's not what I mean. Like,
No,
that's
I know
not
that, I
right.
know
He's
that.
obviously improved.
He has improved.
But he has improved massively. But it's his IQ is not improved with regards to the fight game. That's what I mean, he's not improved. He's getting in there and he's got all the skill to take guys down nice and convincingly and get on top and hold these guys, but he's not doing that.
You like to say, try and put hands on him.
Aye, and he wants to just have highlight reels. So these big slams, and they look great, but they use energy. And then these big hits look great, use energy. So it's his IQ that hasn't improved as an MMA fighter. And how many fights he had? 10?
Oh, he's more than that. He's 11 or 12 now.
Right. So you thinking about that as an amateur? That's a really good amateur record.
It's a lot of fights.
And he should be
He's fighting again next month.
I think that's more
Amateur,
fights than
Rise
me.
and conquer, aye.
amateur.
Aye.
That, like, he needs to improve IQ. So I'll take back what I said about him, because he has improved. He's massively improved absolutely everywhere. But his IQ hasn't he? And that's a huge part of this game, is going from being an amateur to being a pro, as you were saying. When to go, when to slow. And he's not doing that. It's like, go, big slam. Why am I knackered? But mate, you've literally just spent 5 3-minute rounds going hell for leather.
But we don't. The other thing is, we don't know what his corner's telling him in between rounds. So, like, he's maybe choosing not to listen to them. He's maybe one of these guys who just blinkers on. I know what I'm doing, and I'm not listening to anybody, and I'm gone. I don't know.
But then that's a short-lived career in MMA. If an amateur, you think about Gary in the gym. If he gets on top, does he make many mistakes?
Nah, he never does.
Doesn't he?
Nah.
He's tight. He's
take me
controlled.
down.
Aye.
Could take me down.
I think with Yusuf though, like, he was shooting a lot, so Gary was constantly trying to
And that's
defend
hard work.
takedowns. He was in chokes and stuff like that. But then in reality, he's had 3 fight of the nights in HOLYTOWN HAVOC, but he's not winning them. You know what I mean? You can have all these fight of the nights, but if you're not winning,
And that's because it's this.
you're doing damage.
He lives
He's
up to
always
his
got
name.
damage in his face, which is
bull.
isn't
He done a
good,
lot
you
of
know
good damage though. His
Aye.
man was leaving some
Aye.
nasty cuts. Aye.
I guess it runs into his nickname. They call him the Bull for a reason, because he storms in and he'll swing and it's great.
down,
Listen,
eh?
it's great.
His striking
it's great.
has got better, mate.
It's great
Honestly,
to listen.
His
It's
striking's
great
got
to
better.
watch.
His straight
Great to watch,
his
but
straight shots were clean. His straight shots were really nice.
to improve IQ. That needs to, like.
He's a big fan of the podcast, so he will listen to this, Gary. So we're speaking to you here.
Like,
I'm a big fan of Gary.
Aye.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I was watching him at the side, and he was just composed. He's thinking. You can see he's thinking about what he's got to be thinking about, and then Bell just goes and he goes.
If you're his coach, after let's say he's got double figures as an amateur, what are you telling him? What's your honest opinion? What are you going to say to him, Gary?
I don't
see
know
what
what
you're doing. What you're doing, keep doing it. Are you going to tell him that?
No.
No.
Not to go into the pro ranks, no.
No.
Would you?
No, he needs to improve before he goes pro.
This is what I'm saying.
Definitely.
And he's had more amateur fights than me.
But seeing him more he has, like, he's got to be hard to match at amateur
Because nobody's got to want to fight him as well.
Like,
No.
so
It's experience,
he'll
'cause
need to
amateur-
keep fighting these good guys because they'll want to accept
Oh, that's
him.
one thing as well. Let's be fair. It's not like he's
He's not
fighting.
backed away from any fight,
I was
aye.
just put into
The
context.
losses on his record are from
He
really
fought
good
the number
guys.
one guy in England and he fought the number one guy in Ireland under wee Max Lally. So
He takes the big fights.
and
there's
they've
no
all
doubt
been
about it.
close as well. The HOLYTOWN ones have been close. I couldn't have picked a better guy to main event for that show
totally
on
agree with you.
Saturday.
Two of them
It's
are
a
brilliant.
shame-
Listen,
and-
two of them
and
are
shame-
good.
And the crowd were for it. They were
It's
all
a
for
shame
it.
he lost the belt because he's put on some performances at HOLYTOWN.
Aye.
He actually landed a really good knee. I can't even remember if it was in the first or the second round against the cage, and you heard it must have just been right on the breath out because you
said
heard
that
the and then he sort of like one of the knees went, and I thought, but obviously he doesn't know, and maybe the corners no noticed it, so they're not able to say, let's go with that again. It's,
Gas.
And Yusuf's good as well. Remember the last show he
He's
let
very
you go the submission of the night and
know.
the tag
He's
team
very,
and stuff
very
like
impressive one.
that. He went away to Thailand for a full year, just came back, fought for the title obviously once. So
I thought he looked good, didn't he? Like Yusuf looked good in the
was
clinch.
controlled.
Like seeing
Even when they were getting-
clinching, I thought he looked very
Aye.
good. And it was like, Chris, I take my hat off to you, man. The match was well matched.
I really enjoyed
and I'm
that
glad
fight.
it went to 5 rounds.
me too.
Because you don't see a lot in Scottish MMA people go 5 rounds as an amateur, and 2 of them were good as well, and the crowd loved it. So
No, just
it
that.
was good to see.
I also liked.
And they're horrible. Like, make
Yeah.
the ice going the full distance, trust me.
I saw him having a wee mouth at Gary at the end of the fourth
Yeah,
round.
that's right. Because
and
he was
I like that,
smiling,
mate.
wasn't he?
He mentioned
was
that in his
smiling, he was
interview. I didn't
slapping.
see it at the time.
Aye.
What about the female fight?
They were good.
Neil's fighters are absolutely like all Neil's fighters are very, very good.
But I'll tell you the main thing for me with that fight. Neil Laird walked into that cage. You've never seen a fucking smile as big.
He's so happy for
He
him.
was so happy for
He
us.
wants his team to do well, doesn't he?
He does.
Aye.
And they're in good hands as well. Neil looks at training differently. He breaks stuff down in the whiteboard. He does homework for his students and stuff like that.
brilliant.
He's all in. I see Gemma going far.
He's good in the
honestly.
corner, mate.
I said that. Listen, I said that in the podcast. I said these, it's the level of Scottish female fighters now. It's improving. For a long time, it's been really difficult for Scottish female fighters to do well. But we're now at a point where there's a group of girls who are all kind of working together, all doing very, very well, and it shows because
That was a tough submission to finish.
Aye, that fight was
Caroline's a
brilliant.
good jiu-jitsu.
She was she was doing everything right with the defence. She just got to a point where she couldn't defend it anymore, and eventually,
I feel like Gemma brings the fearless that Neil's got.
Aye.
Like I've had a wee roll about with her in MMA up at the gym. She comes up sometimes to spar with the girls there, and she puts it on them, and she puts it on me. She is fearless. I see Neil in her because Neil was the same, but she's also very technical on the ground. Obviously, grappling's her forte. Slick amber.
Is Neil a black belt yet?
Belly down. No, brown.
Is he still brown? Like Neil's a great practitioner of jiu-jitsu. He's brilliant. He was. Did you see Native? He was telling us.
I noticed that. I didn't want to mention it though.
I said to him, I was like, what happened? He's like, so he's got twins. They're maybe like a year and a half. Are they about round about the same age as yours?
Yep.
Your daughter. And he had it wobbly for some reason, and the wee guy banged him and knocked it out. So his son, the apple doesn't fall too far for the tree for his son. But that's what I was asking Neil. I was like, are you getting the kids into training? And he's like, aye. Anytime I try to put his son down to bed, he's like, right, yeah, well, can we train? Because he's no way to go to bed. He's like, can we train? And he was like, aye, come on then, we'll go get a couple of. So he's, it's good he's in good hands as a coach, and obviously.
And it's important
his
to
gym's
me
improving, man.
because that was the first. I was like, "Fuck, he's prop." You see some coaches they come in and they're like, "Oh, good."
You asked a good question. Was it his first title that he's won?
Aye. Is that his first fighter to win a title from his gym? Like the first person he's coached.
Yeah,
so it's a
I
big
think so.
moment.
I think so.
Aye.
I know they do a lot of fights down in England and stuff.
They're an active team. They do grappling comps. They go away. I think it's a.
They're a good unit.
Aye,
I think.
Aye. I was happy for both of them, Neil as well. Aye. So it's good to see.
I think she's got to defend it in the Mary Hill show in February. So
hard to get girls matched up. No, tricky.
No, not as much.
There's not a great. There's not a
because
big
they all
pool.
fight each other, so I can always go. Who did you last fight? And then I can put it to the test there. But I thought like it was a bit stressful for me. There was the whole thing with one of the fights with the weight cut. Somebody missed weight, then they had to try and rehydration clause so they didn't blow up too much. And then they eventually didn't take the fight the next day either. They offered another one that got accepted. This is during the show. And then it got pulled like 10 minutes later. So
Who do you blame?
I was in and out.
Because obviously you're a promoter and take off anything else. Who do you blame?
It's got to be the guy.
Right, it's got to be the fighter.
I've done it myself. No, I mean I've done it
Was the fighter
myself.
not keen to take it? Is that? I don't know if you didn't want to put anyone on the spot, then didn't he? But
What fighter not keen to take
not keen to take the replacement.
No, the fighter was keen. The fighter was keen to take both fights. But
that's a different thing
The
then.
new guy basically was like I'll tell you, it's Hamish. He cut a lot of weight, and this guy he was dehydrated and stuff.
So
like
he missed weight.
yeah.
So what's happened is he's cut a lot of weight. He's missed weight, and then the opponents went right. We'll take the fight, but there's a rehydration clause, which seems fair enough.
Yep.
So he can't come back over.
A bulky
anyway.
Hamish, he's due. He was flying in Friday morning for London, so he couldn't start cutting weight until he landed. So he was cutting weight late till like 5 o'clock at night. Everybody's weighed in at 9 and 10. So in all fairness to Ross Houston, his team, it's their team, it's their decision. They're like, it's still 5 o'clock. He's not made weight. He got down to like 58.
How far away was he?
57 was it?
No, they changed it for him like a few weeks before to 58. So he was like 0.5 off. So they're like, listen, he'll still take the fight. I was going to pay him as well, but they're like, but he can't be more than 62 tomorrow. So I knew it wasn't going to happen because as soon as he starts drinking water, he's got to go right by that. You know what I mean?
That's one meal.
So he was over. I think he was like 64. They didn't check his weight. They didn't bring the scales. I told him to bring the scales.
There's a whole process thing there that's missed.
They then said, look, we've got this guy that came down with the team. He's a wrestling coach. He weighs 66. Do you want that? And they agreed this themselves. They came out to the cage side and saying to me like, look, Joe's not got to fight. He's still over, but they've accepted. I forgot his name, Felix or something. I'm like, no, they've accepted it's all good. I'm like, well, all right, perfect. So I would go through the back. You was good with that? Aye, we're good with that. They're wrapping me songs. Perfect. 10 minutes later, the coach comes out. It's like, nah, I don't want it. Hamish has cut weight, and that guy's no. I'm like, right, great. So it was up, down, but the day before was stressful because of the weight. But that was the only thing wrong with the show. Everything else went smooth. Everybody made weight. The fights
it happens on the biggest show as well. Let's not forget.
Like,
it happens.
It was shit because Hamish, he's in the gym every day putting the work in.
He's ready to go.
So I just want amateur. I just want to see him compete.
You should have taken that fight.
Aye.
Regardless, like it's amateur, man. You know. It's experience.
Get the walk out.
And even
people there. People pay tickets to see him, and
that's shit, man.
But his brother was still on the card as well. But
I seen that because we'd spoke about that. I was like, how hard would it be to be in your brother's corner?
You know, I like seeing you in the changing room. I thought you'd swap the jersey back.
Certainly not. But it was good.
You know, just sitting there. It was cozy.
It was good to see all the guys again. Like, it's been a while since I've spoken.
It was
to
good.
Had a good chat with Mikey. Spoke to Jordan. Some of the guys who have been a massive part of my development as a fighter have came.
Felt like I had them.
Do you miss them?
Aye, 100%. Man, I miss everybody in the gym.
We all miss you. I get to see you every weekend.
That's what the guys were saying. It genuinely was nice to speak to them, and then we had went to my local boozer for a couple of pints, and it was good.
Did any of them go back there?
Aye, like the vast majority of them.
Oh, nice.
It was good to see. I'd have loved to have chatted to Gary more, but when I seen him through the back and getting warmed up and stuff, I thought, he's probably wanting just left alone the new, and then maybe
in his zone.
Aye, I felt bad as well because when the judges were totaling up the cards, Gary had turned round, looked at us, and I had said to you, who do you think? And I had pointed at the opponent.
Just as he done that.
And he
looked at me, and I done that the same. I saw you that, and I pointed to.
Aye. Like, it's 20 cents. We are the referees or judges or referees. So we're like,
it was just
we're coming for like the point of view. If we watch this fight, what do you think?
Aye. One thing I didn't like though, he posted yesterday saying he was ashamed.
I know that's shouldn't be. It definitely shouldn't be ashamed, man.
What's the worst thing I hear you say or you hear me say after a fight?
I know it's apologising for. Hold on, you made the walk,
and I fucking hate it.
I know.
But it's a natural
pressure,
thing to say.
innit?
Like, I'm sorry if I let you down, and you're just like, you've never.
I know. And I don't know if anybody's. I've never looked at anyone and thought they've let the lads do.
Well,
see, unless
I was looking at when you tapped, and I was like, you've let me down. You've let me down.
See. Can you just say it? Aye. See, unless you're stone behind the curtain and you don't want to go out.
Aye. If you don't get up off that stool, if you don't get off the stool, you would embarrass me. And if you don't walk out after you've done all this work, but that's something that you can't bring into question Gary's toughness. Gary is one of the toughest son of a bitches that ever was.
Cunt's got more heart than me.
Right, let's talk about.
Do you think it's because he has a wee bit of autism?
Possibly, aye.
No, because
aye. There's so one.
He doesn't
pig-headed.
There's no quitting.
Yep.
He's tough. He's too tough sometimes.
Right.
I think if his choke's in, he's probably got to go out.
That choke was fucking tight.
He's probably got to go out. I think he's stubborn when he taps.
I've had him in really, really tight submissions, like blood chokes.
And then he would say, that was me.
I know. You're like, fuck up, Gary.
They go in a coffin, bro.
What about, did you watch the UFC the weekend?
Aye. Well, when I got in, aye.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't.
As soon as I walked in, I just seen Khalil.
Khalil, though.
The Dart Destroyer, man. Jesus. Fuck.
Mustache of death.
Mate, the last thing you want to see is him standing in front of you just fucking nailing you. And then he was like, should? Well, I've not seen it because I've lost all that memory. Like, I've got no recollection.
I've got no recollection.
And then he's like, he was ready to hit him another couple of rapid hammer fists,
super
and he's like,
intense, isn't he?
I'll leave you. You've had enough.
He's a bit of a prick, isn't he?
Where does he train?
I don't
Vegas.
know.
Is he Vegas now?
Is he
'Cause he went to Thailand for a while, eh?
Oh, that's right. Remember, he came back and was doing all the Thai. He looked like a Thai fighter, and him just bop.
And Eric Anders he fought, didn't he? And he just tried to
The
put
guy's
the
a
legs
beast.
off him.
The guy is an absolute
Big
beast.
guy too. Like
They
when you
offered-
actually see him, he's big.
So Strickland caught my pussy in Vegas into one of the classes.
I saw this.
He's like, you don't want to be a pussy like like Roundtree, and Roundtree just walked off the mat.
Did he?
But then did Roundtree no go back and confront him or something?
So then he says, so they asked him in an interview like about Sean Strickland. He's like, I don't know who that guy is. Who he's
"Oh,
talking
come
about?
on,
know what I
mate.
mean?
Come on."
It's funny.
Well,
Just
the
take
guy
it
is
there.
the pussy. The guy's a fucking psycho.
Strickland says he's part of a cult. You see this?
I had seen that. He's part of like a compound cult
Aye.
where they live in like a compound and they.
Wouldn't shock me
There's
to be
another
fair with him.
famous celebrity that goes to it as well. I can't remember who it is.
The thing is,
Actor, I think.
Go to look that one up, Jamie.
if Strickland's going to say that
Just
about
go-
you,
Sean Strickland's like Twitter. He tags all the actual cult. Yeah.
if Strickland's going to say that about you, and you've got a problem with it, I'm certain he'll not have a problem having a straightener in the gym with you.
Oh, aye.
If you want to stay behind after the class and sort it out.
That gym must be wild.
He's a bully though.
I've seen it in a gym before.
But
Two boys stay
the
back.
thing is, he goes into the cage with guys that can't fight, and he still like hurts them.
Aye.
And
Who's
like,
him fighting
do you mean?
the two guys?
Khalil. Is
No,
that who you
Sean.
mean?
No.
Sean.
Sean.
So-
Sean was
he
fighting.
kicked a guy in the face that couldn't fight and knocked him out through the ropes, and he was just still standing there.
That's
He wa-
fucking hilarious.
He wasn't like sorry about it. I'm just like, oh, that's
Aye, it's
a bully.
bullying. It's straight up bullying. But he's all in with this character.
Oh, aye.
He's all in with it.
I think it's a character.
It must be.
Matt told me in London it's not. He said he's 100% like that. And I was like, well, I don't know.
Did you find the cult?
Sean Strickland shared something by Choice Centre EQ. That's the one that says it's a leadership university. And then he's in there saying, give me 2 seconds. They got Dominic Cruz to fuck all this shit. Well,
We've got Dominic Cruz as well. Ah, fuck.
They said they've got 4-finger salutes. There are pledges, level pyramid schemes. It's a self-help cult. It goes deep. That's what he said.
Every religion's a cult, bro.
All right, you take it to your conspiracy theory corner, boy.
Well, no, I'm kind of away on that
They're
one.
all a cult, mate.
Sometimes when I'm in chapel or I'm at a wedding or I'm at something.
We were at a funeral new later and we went, this is a lot of shit.
Aye,
Baptise
it's
you,
always,
baptise you when you're little and then you're forced into it, eh?
it's always when I'm there and they're talking and I'm just like,
It's the
Oh.
parade of the book and they're like,
the whole Bill Burr thing though. It's like, say what I say, then you'll say it. Say it again, then I can go play with my toys. All right, I'll say it. So I'll say it again.
It's true.
So it's like you're just sitting there like, aye, this is a load of shit.
I'm doing this because this is what we do, yeah?
But I'm going to have to play devil's advocate here. If
Go
you
on.
are producing good people and you're producing people who are doing good from having religion in their life, then that's a good thing, surely.
So are they like a good Christian or are they a good guy who's a Christian?
Potentially, it's a book of rules and morals to follow.
Aye.
That's pretty much all it is.
But you'd follow them anyway, or you wouldn't, because like I didn't trust the cunts who sit in the front.
But what?
So
So what are you saying? If I don't follow the rules, I don't go to the man in the sky?
I'm just saying.
So God makes you, and then you fuck up in life.
It's
and
his
then,
fault.
Then he judges you at the end where you go.
Pretty
You
much.
fucking made me. You made these whores. you made drugs.
We're fucked anyway because we're all
And I'm the
tattooed.
bad one.
No.
We're all tattooed, so we're
You
not
know,
getting
didn't
in. Nah, not getting in if you've got tattoos.
No,
So
if
we're
you're
all
my
done.
boy Allah, I'm in. I'm good.
I don't know how he feels about the tattoos.
No,
but
surely you're allowed.
certainly doesn't like to be drawn.
Well, if you-
Oh, that's the prophet.
Is that no
Muhammad.
Moses? That's Muhammad,
No,
aye.
peace be upon him. You have to say that or they come and off for your head. So
Okay, and that's that podcast done.
you know what they boys are like when they get annoyed.
So I didn't really see any of the UFC, but this weekend I'm away to the UFC, boys.
Who's on?
2 fighters.
That'll be good, mate.
Where?
I'm going to Boston.
oh,
Shipping up to Boston.
aye. Ian Gary
See
against
what I
Neil
did there?
Magny.
Aye.
Oh, aye,
Cracker,
that's fine.
eh?
And then who's the headliner?
Don't like
it
it.
was
Don't
double C, triple C,
Sterling.
Sterling and O'Malley now. Isn't it?
Sugar.
O'Malley, aye, aye.
That's a
Why-
good fight.
Why do you not like?
Because Magny's shit.
Oh, so you think
Ian
he's not good
Gary-
enough for Gary?
No.
Right.
Who was meant to fight?
Jeff Neal, which I did like.
Aye.
But I would have liked Wonder Boy. That would have been nice.
But Wonder Boy's meant to be fighting Usman.
So is this not the thing they were talking about on Ariel Helwani as well? They were saying like Gary could have fought Thompson and that would have been a better matchup
Aye.
for them both.
I'll tell you right now, he will run through Neil Magny.
I think so
But
too.
Jeff Neal would have been really good
I think he'll.
in the feet. That would have been nice.
I
Do
think
you
he'll, like,
rate
actually-
Gary?
Aye, I do like.
Aye, but I still think he'll get in the top 10 and then somebody will stiffen him.
Aye.
Has he got the minerals to go all the way?
No.
No.
I think he'll put the chin down and swing, and somebody will clip him on.
He's
the way.
got the skills. He's got really good, and he could push maybe top 5, but he's been dropped a couple of times with guys that aren't that good. So I feel like the high level guys maybe put him away.
I think he.
But he's full of confidence. He's got it.
And see, once he
Sometimes
starts
that's all you
landing,
need.
he wants to keep going, and that's when he's been hit on the way back. Once he starts landing and landing and landing, and he starts thinking about putting the guy away, that's when he tends to get clipped back. But he might stop doing that. Like Justin Gaethje stopped doing it. Mind Justin Gaethje just used to fucking head down and go, and then he just stopped. And
Where does he train, Gary?
Miami.
So Chris Fields threw him at the gym.
Did he?
Just before he fought for the Cage Warriors welterweight title. So his manager.
Oh, that's right, I remember all this. Was his girlfriend?
His manager and his wife now. She was like she done the media for Cage Warriors and stuff.
His
like that.
manager's his wife.
Yes.
No, not bad.
So Gary took her second name, Machado. That's her name. So he gets a bit of stick on
Like
Twitter
John
for
Jack
that.
Machado? Is that her any relation? Like the guy with half a hand?
I don't know who the fuck that is, bro.
John
Jack.
Jack.
Is that the guy that does the dog whistle or not?
Joe Rogan's coach.
Aye, that's his black belt. Any
No.
relation?
John
No.
Jack. You would 100% know who I'm talking about.
He's got like a...
No, they're not related.
Right. Okay.
No to her. She's Brazilian.
So is he.
Bro, check up.
Anyway,
Brazilian. I've googled it. Yes, Brazilian.
Anyway, so Chris Fields lobbed him out. I think he was, what I read between the lines, he was a bad training partner in the
Strong
gym.
folk, can't have
Aye, but he was obviously thought he's the man. Just before the welterweight title fight, so he got injured. Chris Fields I think he was trying to pull him. He's like, no, I'm fighting for it. So he threw him at the gym. He won the fight. He got signed with the UFC. He then moves to Florida and trains at, is it Cliff?
I'm not sure what it's called,
Cliff.
but I do know it's Miami.
And I think he's went 5-0 in the UFC. He's got a kid now, and obviously he's married to, is it Luna Machado or something? I can't remember her name. But anyway, I think he's got all the skills in the world, but I think he'll get to the top 5. No. Well, saying that, he's been training with Leon, so I don't know. Like, he's a champ. You're forgetting Leon's a champ. Like, can he beat Leon? That's what that comes
I
down to.
like him, eh? I think he's likeable.
Can he beat Colby and stuff like that? I don't think so.
I think we need to see more of Colby, eh?
I'm on her Wikipedia now. It doesn't say anything about her dad. It just says she's the daughter of a Brazilian mother, and her name's Leila Machado.
Layla, that's it.
Maybe
so it's
Machado's
probably-
maybe it's a common
Aye,
name.
I
Fuck
guess
knows.
it's like fucking...
Aye.
So, did you see what he done with the whole Jeff Neal thing, though?
No.
So Jeff Neal got arrested. Was it a DUI or something?
I've all been there.
Aye. So Ian Gary Machado now shows up to the UFC when it was in Miami or wherever. So he's got the T-shirt of Jeff Neal's mugshot.
Brilliant.
So he's carrying his way in. He's got the mugshot and he's got his wife, and they go and sit in the front row. Or
I like
whatever.
that though, eh?
So Jeff Neal's retweeted that like, you've just made this personal, you just dug your own grave basically. Then a few weeks later,
So got you.
he pulls it. He pulls
Aye.
it. So
That's the thing, eh? Got you then.
aye,
Ross Houston asked me if I was going to pull it
aye.
on Saturday night.
Did he?
I was like,
What, like
Well, he mentioned that to me. He was like... he
was
said
like-
something along your lines.
me? See when he said that, I was like, all right, Ross, how's it going? No bring Jamie doing? And he was like, no. I was like, it wouldn't have been a problem unless, I was like, if he
Unless
said,
he fucking makes it
So,
one.
well, but if he'd have said, all right, how's it going? I'd have been like, all right, Jamie, what's happening? If he
it's
chose,
weird to say somebody you got to pull it. Like,
see when he said that, I was like,
imagine somebody come up to you, you got a fake come up, yeah, you got to pull it this way. Like,
it's like, well, is Jamie going to make weight for this one? Is he going to bother with that? Or no, just like the last time, no do that? I don't know. Just let me know.
So for anybody that doesn't know, Ross Houston was a Bellator fighter, high-level Scottish.
I like Ross, I always say.
and he's the coach at
HMAC.
and he's Jamie's coach.
Aye.
So that's why he's asking that.
It's a strange bit of trash talk. But
So
again,
as
he's
you,
got to back his
is this
guy.
confirmed yet, this fight?
Yes.
Confirmed?
Well, it's confirmed at my end 100%, and I'm told it's confirmed at his end 100%, so we're cool.
So we got ourselves a scrap.
Yep, I'm on. I'll be there, on weight.
So I had...
And in attendance.
where is it?
Dunfermline.
Goliath.
Aye.
Goliath series.
And
It's
are you,
not-
are
it's
you
not the
under the
Alhambra.
are you under the higher level banner?
I would-
Were you under the higher level banner at the weekend?
Aye.
I would have said I was.
Aye.
Aye, that's what I was asking because I heard
Aye,
them
aye.
calling Paul Craig higher level, and I was like, yeah.
It was on the paperwork.
Aye.
So higher level one at the weekend.
Aye. Well, higher level wins all round. No, I spoke to James about it before, and he said that would be.
He
fine.
likes the fight.
Aye, he said to me he likes the fight. I like what he said. He's quite simple.
Aye, aye.
With it. He's like, do this and this, and it'll be no bar.
Keep that for
Aye.
game day.
Aye.
It's game day, baby.
Well-
So aye, we've all got fights lined up then, haven't we?
Aye.
So you've got something confirmed now.
Well, I don't know if it's confirmed. It's confirmed at my end. It's confirmed that I will be having a grappling match with Cowboy Cerrone
In the Ebbw Vale.
in the Ebbw Vale.
And
In
when-
the Ebbw Vale.
And that is in November.
September the 30th.
Oh, right. At
The
the
weight
end.
class is 90 kg. I was like to the guy. The guy
90?
went, hey, what weight class you want? And I was like, just make it open. And he went, nah, I can't do that. And I was like,
So you need a wee mini cut?
aye. Well, I need to cut 10 kg. So I'd messaged. I'd spoke to
You're
the.
not 100 now.
You've got
I'm
to cut
100.
10G for a grapple?
That's what Adam
off.
said. That's what Adam said.
Fuck off.
But here's the thing.
Cerrone's on the roids, man. Just fucking let him roll in, man.
I know, maybe they're trying to protect me. Maybe he's going to come in like.
Let him, man.
Veins in his head in that.
Just send him the fucking clip for the weekend. Like, you want some of this?
Aye. Just dusted Ross Cooper, and he does cunts in, by the way.
Well, you obviously seen the video.
Yeah, they were getting some captain stabbing chants during the.
Mate, I was the bad guy. How did I become the bad guy in
I
that?
don't know. I was unsure how that happened.
Aye.
Two lassies smoking joints in the smoking area.
you get booed?
Did you see
Aye,
the
mate,
lads?
I've seen
Aye,
booed.
booed them. Somebody called me Max Branning, mate.
That's right. I had that as well. Fucking
I was
brilliant.
like, phenomenal. I will shag your family. Just like Max Branning.
I heard that shout.
It was good,
That's
man.
funny.
two wifeys in the smoking area, pints and joints, eh? And they were like, can we get a picture with you? And I was like, aye. And they're like, I was like, didn't he fucking stick that out my top? Did you see them? I was like, they're HOLYTOWN. Oh no, well, fuck, where were you, mate?
I couldn't get a train home. It was too late for me.
Heard that.
I went.
Pish. Should have been there, mate.
What time did it finish, Bunny?
Doesn't matter.
Aye, but he made it to London, didn't he? But he couldn't support. Couldn't support you.
Didn't he shop local?
I wasn't getting a hotel paid for me at HOLYTOWN, so
You got a Newcastle in November?
fucking right, man.
Good stuff.
We'll sleep in the car if needs be, Jamie.
Aye, me and you together.
No again.
Not again.
Loads. How long have we done?
You're at 53 minutes.
Fucking flown in the day. It's flown in.
I don't know. You want any holiday chat for me? I don't know what happened. Did I tell you a
Dolphin?
No, I didn't golf. I went
No,
to
dolphin.
Dolphin.
Dolph Lundgren. No, we've heard the dolphin chat. I was a shite bag.
Funny.
He's posted the picture and everything. Thanks, appreciate it.
I was going to say that should have been your Discord profile picture.
I know, just about, but it's me with the two in the pink one and the stink high.
that was a good
So
one.
went to Coco Bongos, which was fucking wild. Like
It's like a cabaret club, eh?
absolutely tremendous. Best party. Well, the best part was not the best part of it. So they would get podium dancers, the girls are up there dancing, night smoke shows, absolutely straight up tens. But what they do is they bring up people for the crowd, right?
Okay.
Bring up some lassies, right? Bam, bam, bam. Like absolutely chicks are getting into it, right? And then they start like having this like twerk off. We have a lassie that's on this podium and a lassie that's on this podium, right? Pop, pop, pop. So they're dancing like fuck. Now the girls are moving very, very sexually, like proper.
Right. The Wayne's
Aye,
in
I'm,
the
just,
hotel.
I'm wondering this here.
Aye, aye,
You done a Madam McCann and just left them in
My daughter's
fucking
16.
the gaff.
My daughter's
Right, that's alright.
like you can have a kid at 16. It's
Pulls in between the two arches.
no. So they were in the hotel. My daughter's she'll be 17 in a few months, so that's not an issue.
Of course.
So we're at Coco Bongos. They're up in the podiums, right? So the lassie's getting right in there, right? Hits out, didn't she? Bam! Starts shaking titties. I'm like, yeah, fucking yes, right? So
And then remembered your way your wife.
like DX. Get on it.
so then they have another couple of shows. They do their thing. They bring her back up with her pal, and the two pals start going at it. Sexy dancing, asses are going, rubbing the vaginas in each other's faces. Not that they're out.
I hate all that.
And then
Sounds
she gets the tits out again, and then her pal starts sucking them.
Oh,
now I'm like, fucking, come on! I was loving it. I thought it was brilliant.
This is-
And I was like, surely they're staged.
Maybe you went into the run club, bro.
But it was so that was the best part.
Have you
of
been
it.
to see the priest since you've got home? 10 Hail Marys.
Well, I was only looking.
And another father. And how's your father?
It was
So you had a nice time.
I did have a good time. There was a lot of hustling going on. Everybody's wanting a buck off you. Everybody's wanting a buck off you.
It's what goes down in these places.
It's like, I met the Loch Ness Monster. He said, hey, I need about $350.
Oh, my son found that the other day, and he just can't get over it. This is like,
Goddamn Loch Ness Monster, you ain't getting no $350.
he's new to South Park, my son.
I've started watching it. I'd sent you the slap.
Oh,
He's
so
like,
funny.
have you heard of this, Dad? South Park. I was like, oh, fucking here we go. And that's it. It's all downhill for you, bud.
That's more a talk than the sex talk. It's like South Park.
That'll give you the sex talk.
He's away to high school in the morning, my
Is he?
son. Aye.
Double body like.
Shouting at Mr. Garrison.
Aye. He doesn't. I says, oh, we'll head up a bit. He's like, oh no, I'm walking up with my friends. I was like,
Why would you walk him to school?
I don't know.
You're fucking weirdo.
I know.
Up to the school, you want him bullied?
I know.
Oh,
Nah.
Leave him round the corner, bro.
No, let him walk up himself.
Aye. I'll go let him walk with his friends.
Aye.
He wasn't even, he's like, when I said, oh, we'll go, he was like, we?
There ain't no we.
Aye. Oh, you're right enough. Aye. Fuck. I feel sad about it, mate.
You just want to go and greet. Like, oh, son, you're my boy.
I know. Doesn't he need his old man anymore? This useless cunt now. You got the money. Aye, there you go, buddy. Cool. See you later. I'm not coming back at 10. I'll be back at 11.
How was work after the show?
Did you ever have to?
Fucking hard gone.
Was it?
I was tired, like. Aye. Few folk.
Did you pop an edible with me?
Work straight after the
Aye.
show.
Till 5 o'clock, 5:30.
In the morning?
Aye.
Jesus, man.
What the fuck?
I know. And I'd been at my work all day.
You did a bit of that working, mate.
Aye,
You
mate.
fucking worked all day.
I know. And the Friday night before, too.
You need to bring in some of the fucking pies for the boys.
I'll bring you stuff. Aye. He's
You know
a good
I
guy.
don't- You know I don't eat the meat.
I know. He does vegan
Does
options.
he?
Aye. Stuff's good.
Tell me about
I'll
your
bring
pies
some
then.
in.
What's his name?
The Bald Baker.
The Bald Baker. I do follow him.
Check him out. Mate, he's a good guy.
So you need to be bald there to go.
No. But it helps. But he's a good
in the
guy.
queue for the pies.
Aye. To the front, my friend. You're VIP.
No, it was a tough shift. A few folk got fucking flattened out, unfortunately.
Did you have to
Not
flat
by
it?
me, no, fucking no chance. I'll never.
MD down the bum alley?
No, he uses 3 minutes on you, bro.
Aye. I'm not getting into any scuffles. I'm frightened to get into fights in the street. It's horrible. I
Once
hate
they're
it.
all gassed.
Aye.
The guy's just nailing into your face.
Aye.
Try to choke
look.
a beer jute for 3 minutes.
Can't do it to use. Maggie, you think my second one was close? Second one would have been in there. If I could have wrapped a leg, I'd have had you.
I heard it for his before it was the
He's
close.
always going to say that. He's gonna say, do you know how you know when you've almost got him? He stops being cheeky and saying stuff to you. That's all he shit. They'll shit talk you every
Was
round.
a shit talk,
Aye, it's the same at higher level, but it's never went away. It was funny. You were grappling with Clancy a couple of weeks ago, and you were saying stuff to him, and I went, Sean, you're no far away because he's not saying fuck all to you. And he was like, do you think so? It's like, honestly, you're no far away. Keep going with that. You might get him.
It was a lie.
Aye. That's when I go.
Right, so all I need to do is go quiet and you think you're winning?
Once
He's like, I'm fucking beating him.
Once you stop saying anything, I'm like, oh, he's taking this serious now. Until then, you're
Easy
always
work,
shit
bro.
talking.
Easy work.
I know.
Superb.
I like it. I like a grapple in the cage. It was
It was
all
fun.
right.
It was
Aye,
fun. It was
good.
really was fun. But you know who's getting it next?
Becky J looking the ringer.
No, mate, the first match he's a Mongol, mate. Guy's a spire.
Oh,
He looked in as well. He looked in the announcer.
he's a nice guy, yeah.
Big sweaty
big
man.
guy.
That's so hot.
I know it was hot.
I need to fucking get some ear fence in there, man.
I don't know what you could do.
Aye.
It's funny. So the security guys, did I tell you they got a bit of cheek off somebody?
No.
So I had obviously said to them, didn't he try to drag anyone about or wading into anything? So he was back at the club on Saturday night. I said, you get any drama? He went, one guy was outside, he was shouting at me a wee bit. He's like, he was falling about and bumping into people and knocking their drinks over, and I just didn't want him getting filled in off somebody else. So I just said, you'll need to wait outside. And he went, he says, he started shouting at me, And he's like, I just kept my hands in my pockets. And I went, I tell you what, I'll go and get Chris, see if you shout at him. He said, and the boys,
Aye.
because that's what I said. Didn't he get into it with anyone? Didn't he start rolling about with anyone? I was like, just
The two boys were brilliant.
That's what he said. He said,
I told you, no trouble.
there was
man.
no trouble.
man.
And that's what he said. He goes, I just went, I'll just go and get Chris in. And the boy was just like, no, it's all right, I'll just go. He was like, I thought so. But that's what I mean. The atmosphere was, but how many times you go to these MMA shows and you're like, fucking hell, this looks a bit skip. That was bang on. It was perfect. Everything about it was good. I know you obviously people are going to be like, oh, well, you're his fucking mate, so you're going to say that. There wasn't a bad bit about it.
That's the main thing. innit?
Everything.
The fans like it. Everybody in the way
You could have brought your
or
kids
after
to
it
that.
was messaging.
Yeah,
saying
and there was
getting
kids
them.
that you could bring it, but that's the see sometimes like I'd love to take Lewis to more stuff, but then I'm like, I don't know.
You don't know
Like,
what it's
you can't go to boxing shows with your kids. Like,
I thought the ring girls done a great job.
Oh, I thought they did a great job.
Like,
as
see,
well.
when I went to the 5th round and they even brought up the 5th card.
What about
Come on,
what
the
about bringing a 3 and a 2?
That's only for Forza.
there was ring girls. I did not.
Did you not see them?
Never saw them.
I seen them.
Carried on with my night as normal.
Jeezy peeps, man.
Oh, Jeezy peeps.
I can't believe we got stripped to our titles, bro. Not
Wrestling.
Aye. What you got to do, yeah? What you got to do?
You just got to take it.
Are we blaming Toll for this? Is this Toll's? Is this Toll's doing?
Aye.
Toll stripped us to our titles then?
Why has he done that to you, bro?
Because we would just smash everybody in the roster.
Aye.
It's no fair to them. It's no fair.
Just get you out now.
Aye.
Well, it's still.
So that's us no longer ICW tag team champions.
Aye. So what now?
Fuck them anyway. Just need to
Go to
smash,
WWE.
Smash real guys.
Go to the WWE.
Cerrone, McDonald, Goodwin.
We're on.
How's prep going for your camp?
It's good. I was able to start running today. Just a wee 2K. And
How good did it feel?
I've not done it yet, mate.
Oh, have you not?
No, I'll do it later.
So I saw in your story you've been back getting a bit more physio and stuff like
Aye,
that.
so
Feeling good?
Andy's, I'm allowed to do certain like grappling movements, kind of like working knee on belly or like in guard, and then a couple of rounds, walk about, back again.
Allow it to free it off.
Aye,
Perfect, man.
So
You know what? That's a good thing that
that's a
he's
step
giving
forward,
you.
know what I mean?
He's giving you steps to get back there. just being
because
like,
he knows our game. He's a
Nothing
black
to-
belt in jiu-jitsu under Marco. He
He's
knows
absolutely
what our
tremendous,
body
by the
goes through. Every time I leave his place in there, like, it's always positive. And I've got a smile on my face because I feel I'm going in the right direction. So,
Good.
Nothing getting stacked or that now, obviously. Nothing like that, because that's where it'll be fucking.
aye, no, definitely not. Or
the gym must be in a
on
good
the
place as well at the moment after a good few wins at the weekend. So everybody's. And then is the guys having a couple of fights?
I know
Michael's fighting Peretti
Lorenzo.
for your gym.
Michael's fighting Lorenzo, which will be a great fight.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I've grappled with Lorenzo.
What's,
I
Michael's
like
record?
Lorenzo. Michael's 2-1.
I feel awful about that fight,
Aye.
because
Well, you know what? I don't think we should because it's two Scottish pros
and they're both wanting it,
and
as
they're
well.
both wanting
I
it.
know.
So
Aye.
like, I think
I
it's a
like
good
Lorenzo.
thing.
I love Lorenzo. I've known
Michael's my
Lorenzo.
brother, so
I know.
it's simple as that.
I spoke to Michael about it. I was like, mate, like, I love yous both. Like, I've known Lorenzo since he was a
No, I
actual
spoke to
boy,
both and
mate.
went, I think both of you are wank.
The thing
Aye.
is, Michael's a beast. And I know Lorenzo's improving under a high level banner. He's just won a lot.
I'm
of
not
amateur
leaning
fights.
one way or the other.
Do you know-
Listen, I'm
so
saying it now.
Michael is a beast, like,
Aye,
everywhere.
So you know where I think this comes down to, and I like both fighters. How many fights has Michael had?
I know Lorenzo's
How many?
a lot
so
of experience in amateur.
From getting stopped for Ryan.
He didn't get stopped. He didn't come off.
Aye,
He didn't.
So it's so it's like 9 fights.
Since
That's a
that-
lot of experience.
I've
Aye.
9
And
fights
that was
since
the
that
same.
night.
That was the same night. Michael obviously lost to Mark as well.
So if you think about that, that's
he's had
he's had 2 fights for that, and
No,
It's a lot of walks.
no, one.
he's had 1 fight.
Do
Sorry,
they not
aye.
have a tied boxing fight as well?
Well, aye.
I don't know if you want to chuck that
I
in,
don't.
but it's
That's
still.
no real fight.
There's still a walk to the ring, though.
So you
and there's
think
still
about having 9
No,
fights of experience.
I get you.
And that's what I think. Like, I think, see us as fighters, you can have all the rounds you want in the gym, but you need to do the walk, you need to do the fight,
No, I get you.
you need to do the whole process. And then I'm thinking, right, I look at who Enzo's sparring with regularly and who's his training partner, who's Mark Ewan, who's obviously got the victory over, and that's like, so I'm looking at it from this point of view, being like,
And Dylan.
right, Dylan took as well, so he's got a good wee group of guys who he works with. He's got Coonley, so all the kind of guys all
Coonley's
together.
tough work, mate. He's
And then
fucking
I'm like,
hard to spar
and then
with.
you've been out for how
Very
long?
good.
You've been
I
out?
know, but I'll be in camp this one with him because I'm fighting
Oh,
same
which,
month.
which is great because now the two are.
back.
But that's what I mean. Like how he may be improving hitting pads and he may be having good rounds with Jordan, Gary, all these kind of guys. But it's if you've not got the drive with the fight, then it's different sparring, isn't it?
I think when Michael's got a fight though, he
Ramps
puts the
up.
work-
I know, like,
he puts the
that's
work
why-
in, he gets in shape.
Like if you ask me right now who's going to win, I couldn't pick because there's this. I'm thinking like I know what Michael's capable of. A fully fit Michael.
I still don't think Michael showed what he's capable of against Mark. I
think
think
so too.
the occasion got to him, and I think in his head, he maybe thought he was going to lose. And it was a small ring. Obviously, the first HOLYTOWN HAVOC was in the even smaller cage. And And it was like he's a great fighter and great prospect as well. I just feel Michael.
I think he's
it wasn't
fighting-
the real Michael that night. He could have gave more, and he's a lot better. Obviously, he's improved throughout the last couple of years as well. So I don't know, man. I feel Michael will beat Lorenzo. That's my honest opinion because I see it every day, and I'm back Michael. Obviously, I like Lorenzo. I talk to Lorenzo. He's been on my show. I've went through and trained with him in Edinburgh himself, just us two. So it's not I know that I don't rate him. I do think Michael will win this fight.
He's your boy. No, that makes sense.
And
Makes total sense.
he'll put the pressure on. And 5-minute rounds are a lot different than 3-minute rounds.
I said
Right,
that
know
to
what I mean?
Michael, though. I said, my honest opinion, I think it'll go the distance and it'll come down to just who puts in the most work over the 3 fight, because it's a 3-rounder, eh?
I could see Lorenzo getting Michael's back. Maybe
I don't think-
chilling there for a while. He's hard to submit Michael, and that could take a lot of energy. And as the fight goes on, Michael could come into it as well. So there's all these different.
There's loads of ways to
strategies.
listen.
That's why we're
Loads
speaking
of
about it.
ways.
It's a great
Aye.
fight. Who else is fighting for the gym?
Well, Carrie's back out, Riz is back out. They're all doing it Rise and Conquer at Fisher's show.
Tough one for Riz, eh?
At the weekend.
Aye.
And that guy's good. Very good.
Good submission.
It was very good.
I was like a jaw crank, wasn't it?
Aye.
Quite impressive.
But he's very good. But same again, Riz has trained for years and years and years. He's 2
I
and
was
3.
looking for him. I was looking for him to open up the hands and keep some
Aye, a wee
distance.
bit sharp.
Because he is very good in the exchange.
He's quite
as well.
relaxed. He looked loose. He looked like he was going to have a good time, and he didn't look like overly depleted
Good
or
kid.
anything like that.
He's a good kid,
great
man.
wee guy.
He's got
I just-
potential. It's amateur.
Great guy.
When you move on
And
to
he
pro.
they take it so hard.
I know.
These amateurs.
I know.
Like, it's different.
But then that's having a guy like you in the gym to be like, listen, Riz.
That's exactly what I went into the changing room after it to Riz and Callum. Like, look, as an
business,
amateur,
mate.
I lost 6 times, and then professional, I've been on to headline Bellator Cage War. So it's like, this doesn't matter.
The thing is,
this
as well,
doesn't matter.
there was never the
You've got to
social
lose
media.
it. I'm like, you've got to lose me. This is just the journey, man. So
I hope I get
hopefully
the
they can take a wee bit of
I hope I still get the chance to lose more fights. Like, I'm older now, eh? Like, these guys are going to fucking...
Tell you right now, the 3 guys are going to lose more fights in the future.
There's
We
no
don't
doubt
want
about
to,
it.
But
I know.
it's just
Part of the
life.
business,
But
innit?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope I still get the opportunity to go out there and lose fights. Like, and these young guys are distraught at a loss. It's like, fuck,
I just hope I don't get knocked out half a Perry Goodwin. That's what I won't take that well, man.
for me, like, I'm at, or Oyas we're older now. There's no millions of fights along the road for us, but with Riz and guys like that, like, they've still got, and Gary,
They're
and
so young and all.
they're so young, mate.
know.
They've got fucking probably as many fights left as they want to have.
Considering in their 20s, man. You know
Aye.
what I mean?
It's crazy.
We started
Who
late, though.
have we got out? We've got Dylan Tooks out. He's fighting PFL.
PFL.
He's now on the
is that
second round.
September? I like this setup.
In Germany?
I think it's close.
Paris.
No,
Paris, is it? Aye.
And there's like no fucking about. It's just like, win this one, couple of weeks, boom, on to the next one.
Right.
100
And on
grand.
it.
We 100 G's,
I like
man.
it.
And then he gets put into the actual main one. So that's kind
He's
of cool.
got a tough one in the next one, though.
Do you have to win the European one to go to the
Yes.
the $1 million?
You
Unless
still
you're-
get a belt. You still get a belt. eh?
Unless you're somebody with notable, like Stevie Ray didn't have to win the European one to go in because
Right,
he had it.
'cause he had a
his
good
own
CV.
Aye.
Ah, he came from UFC.
And then you've got Mark Ewens fighting Bellator Ireland. And
Lorenzo, obviously.
Lorenzo
touched on
against
that
Ryan
one.
Man.
That's
And
a
then
new.
you've got-
That's a new show, by the way, in Montrose.
Oh fucking hell! His name's
good.
waiting right
Look,
out.
can't remember
there
the
needs
name,
to be more
Dale-
Scottish shows for these Dale.
Dale Middleton. I was meant to fight him once. Had to pull out of that fight actually.
Yeah, fucking.
Aye, I
I've
did.
never pulled out.
I had
I fell down.
the only 2 times I stayed in, I've had 2 burns.
That you know of. But I like it's. It's good that there's more Scottish shows coming.
It is good. Aye.
And then we've got Young Alan.
He's in a 4-man.
He's in a 4-man tournament. I love that. I absolutely
like
love it. Tell me you've seen Dean, his last fight.
Housley.
I just seen photos.
Mate, go and watch the fight.
Is it out? The fight?
Aye, aye.
I seen he was caught in a darce, a strong darce.
Wait till you see how good he looks.
Aye.
Like,
Know just how good he looks.
But
See when he wins.
Dean's
mate.
always been good though.
I know.
He's been tough as
I
fuck
know
as well.
he
man.
is like
He
needs.
just needed a wee bit of more guidance.
Mm-hmm.
That's it in a nutshell.
He looks like a
'Cause he always had
he
the
looks like
drive.
he looks like a different fighter.
Unreal
He comes in-
shape, mate.
He comes in and he's annoyed at himself
Aye.
because he's missed like a session. It was James was telling me, he was like messaging James saying, "Listen, I'm really sorry that I missed that session." And James was like, "Listen, there's like if I'm messaging you telling you you're missing sessions, that's when there's an issue." He went, Your commitment is never in question, mate. You do not worry about missing a session or being 10 minutes late.
Mate,
absolutely fine. He comes in and gives it 100%.
I was partnered up with him one day in the gym, and then he was like, kept running over to his phone. I was like, "Is everything all right, mate?" And like, I'm thinking, is he checking on something? Is there a problem? He's fucking writing stuff down in his notes on his phone, and I was like,
But it's good.
It's heavy.
That's what he does. He'll ask you a
I don't
question.
know if a man do that though.
he was just
Writing himself with notes is a good way to develop. What did I learn? I learned this, and this. Good kid, but
wants it. And you see it in his face when he got the win there. He was like, almost like relieved. He just needs.
I am so glad to be part of Scottish MMA at the moment because everything's just going well for all the gyms involved. All these shows are coming up, so it's a good to see you be at the front of the wave at the moment. That's where we are.
And Scottish, like, good amateur title fights there at the weekend. Good support and everything, like good support for both guys at the show for the main event. And it was good natured, no drama, no shit. That's the big takeaway for me. Like, we can all enjoy it. Like, we didn't have to have the fucking nutcase stuff we used to have. So.
The days are gone, man. I'm glad. I'm glad. But guys,
call it.
I was see, have you been to Mexico? Have you been?
No.
Right, they drive like absolute fucking morons. I was involved in a car accident.
Oh yeah,
actually, genuinely was. The bus I was in actually they banged into somebody.
You know who you could have phoned if you did?
Well, I couldn't have phoned G4 Claims because
they don't go to Mexico, no?
I don't think so. But they just bang into each other. It's like a regular
all
occurrence.
the motors are all just dented.
They don't give a fuck. But if you're involved in a claim in the UK, who would you call?
I call G4 Claims. Who would you call, Ross?
I would call G4 Claims and get 100% of my claim.
My man.
Do you have the number?
I do. The telephone number is 01698 767 172.
If you don't have access to a phone, old school,
you can get them
on
notatfaultclaim.com
or click on the link in the bio.
Click on the link in our bio, on our Instagram page, or on our YouTube channel.
How much of your claim would you get back?
So the rumour is G4 Claims will give you 100% of your claims. They will also do their best to get you back on the road as soon as possible. The girls at the front of the office here, they're there firing up sorting out all this kind of stuff to make it so much easier for you. That's why I would pick G4 Claims to handle my claim and get 100% of your claims. That number one more time, Ross?
Done me there.
100%.
Right, you're done, Ross. You fucked it.
Done me.
Your claims.
G4 Claims.
G4 Claims.
G4 Claims.
Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Survive.
Keep it high.